And then you hallucinate and everything else.
Sure, it could be a ghost messing with you. Could also be mold.
He started to chase us because he was on the illegal thing.
And then they asked which state this occurred in, and they said New Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Welcome to the REMPOD, where we research and experience all things mystical.
You ready?
Ready?
Oh, my hair's falling out.
That's the intro.
Today.
Go. Oh, sorry. Oh.
Welcome to the REMPOD, first off.
First of all, welcome to the REMPOD.
Today, we're going to be talking about spooky mixed with winter time. We're going to talk about why winter feels different during investigations, abandoned places that are frozen in time, true encounters that happened in snow and isolation, and whether cold preserves paranormal energy. Some places don't decay, they pause, and winter might be why.
I feel like when places don't, they are less decaying in the wintertime. Bugs don't do winter, so they don't they just all die. Just all the bugs die. They're just dead. And so there's not a lot of bugs in the house getting everything all gross. I feel like, I don't know about mold. I feel like mold kind of doesn't run super rampant in crazy cold weather. I know it needs cold, damp places to grow, but there's a difference between like frozen and cold and damp and musty. So that could work towards the benefit of not decaying as quickly.
It also could play into, we were talking about from a reaction not too long ago about how mold can be part of people's haunted problems.
Certain mold and like things like that can cause hallucinations and issues.
And sometimes people don't even think to look into that.
Yeah,
For some reason.
be behind walls, behind your drywall, behind stuff. It's not necessarily just on the outer layer, or it could just be heck on the ceiling. A whole lot of people look up, or they see the white fog on stuff, and I think it's just dust, and it's actually mold. White mold.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's gross.
I didn't know the side effects that it has until I've heard recently about them. They're crazy. They literally make you feel sick.
Yeah.
And then you hallucinate and everything else.
Yeah, that's why when you go into like an abandoned building and you start to feel kind of like nauseous and sick and you don't feel great, sure, it could be a ghost messing with you. Could also be mold and gross stuff.
I know everyone doesn't like to hear debunking, but not everything has to be creepy.
And listen, I believe in all this stuff, but I also like to kind of think of what could it be that's not that? What can I rule out? I like the science part of it too. Like, there is a science to paranormal investigations. I feel like you gotta rule out the stuff that it could be that's legitimate ailments, or like something it's an old house that's or an old building that's falling apart. Something in the ceiling may just fall because it was its time to fall. It's something being thrown, or it's footstep or something like that. Like you kind of gotta. That's why I say go towards the noises. Go towards where you get the sounds.
You could just been spooking yourself out for no reason.
And hopefully it's not just another human being hiding or living in the abandoned place that you're.
Right.
Didn't you have a video like that once where I think I saw you guys went to an abandoned place and there was another human hanging out there?
So we went to an abandoned insane asylum where it was collapsing, and we probably shouldn't have really been there in the first place.
Isn't that the thing though? Are you really in abandoned buildings?
Yeah. And then we turned the corner and then saw some guy doing things that we can't say on YouTube because we will get in trouble.
Yeah, he was doing bad stuff.
So then we ran because he started to chase us because he was on the illegal things.
Horrifying.
It was the mold.
It's the mold. he was smoking mold. That's crazy to think about. If you go somewhere and you don't, especially if you're there at night. You guys were there during the day though, right?
Yeah, it was like sunset, so it's still light.
Yeah. I can imagine going somewhere at night, and it's not only is it cold because it's like winter time. If it's been snowing, it's gonna be more difficult to run, and also snow is gonna mess with the sound of stuff because it's basically like a sound muffler.
Yeah.
Sounds don't really bounce around as well if there's a bunch of snow on the ground, so you're gonna hear nothing and everything.
Some ancient beliefs I didn't know. Well, I mean, it makes sense, obviously. Winter is like death and stillness. With the snow, how it makes everything more quiet, which I remember when I was little and it would snow, I remember how quiet it would be. Because you would know it was getting ready to snow because it just like absorbed all the sound everywhere. But I never took that into consideration for like ghost, like paranormal investigating in the snow. That would be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I did not grow up with snow. I grew up in Florida, so the winters here have been nuts this year. Like, I've driven in a blizzard twice where I could not see 2 inches in front of my dang car. It was horrifying. But like when you go walking, like we go walking around the neighborhood, and if there's a ton of snow on the ground, it sounds different.
Mm-hmm.
It is so still. It is so quiet. It's almost like it makes you want to look behind you sometimes. Getting to experience that after spending my entire life having no snow has been wild. I can see why snowy, cold weather can make people a little more spookified.
Some cultures, you kind of mentioned this earlier off camera, but some people say that the spirit realm is thinner in the winter time. Do you know why, I guess?
So I know with some cultures they believe that is when the spirits could cross over. Could be because trees are mostly dead. Like everything dies. Everything's dead. So I think animals retreat and disappear. Trees and crops are gone or dead or just not there. You stay indoors more often. It gives you more time to reflect, and I feel like with the theme of the dead, I think maybe that's why they feel like that's why the veil is thinner, is because everything else is gone.
That's true. They have free reign.
Yeah.
There's nothing living. They're like, it's our time to shine.
It's also if you're in, I feel like if you're indoors at a place during winter time, and especially in old houses, because there's still a lot of houses in this area that don't have central like air and heating and all that. They still have boilers or radiators. And so if you get like a draft or something from like a window or from, I don't know, just somewhere in an old house, sometimes they're just drafty, it can make curtains and stuff move, and you start to see things that aren't there because you don't have the same kind of like heating throughout the whole house in specific areas. So you get like drafts carrying from one room to another. Have you ever had a curtain hanging over a vent, and it's one of your vents is like so some houses have vents where, I think all houses have this, where a vent blows air, but there's other vents that suck the air out of the room.
Yeah.
So have you had a curtain that is over one of those vents where the air is being sucked through it, and so it pulls it close to it? Mm-hmm. When it turns on, the curtain goes whoosh, and sticks to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if there's a draft from somewhere, it'll blow that curtain, and so it looks like somebody's moving the curtain or somebody's behind the curtain.
It's interesting. Just talking about air vents.
Call you HVAC guy.
But like just opening a door too, not even to the outside, just opening a door moves the air more than you know. Like if there's like a plant hanging or like a little string of something, you can notice.
Especially if you open your front door, say you got an open concept house, and your front door and your back door, like you could look at a front door from your back door, and you open one and you go to open the other. If you go to close it, it slams.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, where it's like if you hear a door slam, you kind of have to think about, where's the air pressure in this building? What's causing that?
Now, don't get me wrong, there's been times in my house where just my bedroom door would do that, and it would just open on its own, and then open further on its own. Like, I could tell if it was the air or not, because it would just, open like an inch and then shut.
And your house wasn't like an old house, right? It was like built in like the 1900s or 18.
Yeah.
It was built, what, 19...
Yeah, it was like early 1900s.
Early 1900s?
Yeah.
Okay. I know with doors like that, it's hard to tell because sometimes, also, if they got remodeled, because we still have the same, like, the doors that came with the house. So all of those, they are not plumbed, they do not shut well. They do not move on their own, like, at all. Like, it's frustrating sometimes. So with yours, like, was it, and it could be that, like, the hinges were off or whatever, but how often did it happen? Did it happen all the time or just every so often?
Oh no, that's what I was saying. I could tell when it was the air, because every time the air would turn on, you could tell.
Yeah.
And it would just be like, every few months, it would just like open fully for no reason.
Huh.
Just like if a dog walked through the door, just like that little bit, that's what it would do.
Okay. See, that has me, like, I love when it's, like, stuff to do with doors. I love doors. The wooden things. Love them. With doors, if it's a wooden door, you gotta account for wood movement, especially in the door frames, as well as just, the house in general, because most houses, their framing is the wood, and wood moves during the seasons. And that's another thing to account for in old houses and abandoned houses is during the winter time, wood will expand or contract. I can't remember. I'll have to expand or contract. It moves, and so it messes up how your door was initially sitting. And so it'll change how your door was actually sitting because the wood itself breathes. It moves. And so you said every couple of months, and that makes me wonder: was it wood movement?
Oh, true.
Yeah. Ha! There's your debunk.
That could have been. I know everyone loves that. Loves my debunks.
There's been times where I've had like a door slam, and I'm just like, okay, chill, door, what is going on? And then it was not me pulling it, it was not the weather, because it has happened in summertime and in wintertime, where a door is just like, I'm gonna shut real hard. Door would just catch an attitude with me, and maybe it was the ghost, but...
So that moves us to abandoned places that are haunted. Actually abandoned, like abandoned, more than buildings, like abandoned towns and resorts, which would be so cool to go, like, find an abandoned resort. That would be so fun.
Ghost town.
What is your thoughts on, like, do spirits get trapped somewhere? How does residual energy start? Because I feel like, I don't think they're trapped. I think they liked wherever they are.
And I think it could be, they are attached to something, whether it be an object that is in the area or, and this is also why I feel like graveyards are probably the least haunted thing ever, because that's not where the person died.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just where you put the dead people. So,
except for that one that we went to that they told us there was a vortex.
that one was weird.
That's the only exception.
That one was weird. I feel like people are attached to areas, to items, and maybe even to other people that are still in the area. And so they have trouble moving on, so they kind of just linger around. There's also a matter of, like, what is the town built on? Is there limestone? Is there crystal underneath it, like quartz or anything like that? Because that can trap energy as well. You could have residual energy trapped in that stone and quartz material under the ground, so it kind of feels heavy and intense and just has a weird vibe to it. And it was the Stanley Hotel. If you go, I think it's Stanley. There's a few hotels that are like this. If you go down underneath them into their basements, it's like limestone, quartz, everything that traps energy.
We should do a REMPOD specifically on ley lines.
Yes, stories for that one.
Is it was that, you said quartz? Limestone?
Limestone, quartz, it's a bunch of type of stones that can trap energy, but usually it's limestone and quartz.
We should do a very sciencey REMPOD one day.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about all the scientific paranormal things.
Yeah.
Because I know you talk about ley lines a lot, so I'm interested to hear them.
Yeah, but there's a girl that I worked with that had a lot of weird stories about ley lines and the town that she used to live in. And she was telling me one, and we'll get into this when we do that episode. She was telling me one story where she basically she stopped looking into it because she felt like something was telling her, stop, don't keep investigating this, don't do it.
I just got the chills.
I was like, oh, no thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about the science. I know we were getting into that a little bit, but so like we were saying earlier, the cold, people were saying, affects human perception and fear. But that goes back to like the snow trapping all the sounds, so you can probably hear further because it's like more clear. It's drowning out all the other noise that you normally hear when you're outside.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that is part of the human perception. I think it's just the snow.
It could be also how you feel during the wintertime, because it's I feel like cold makes you feel a little more introspective and kind of like almost sad sometimes. Seasonal depression.
Yeah, the seasonal blues.
High anxiety and melancholy feelings, and so everything starts to kind of feel dark and scary, and so that kind of imprints on like everything that you're experiencing, like everything that you see and you feel. You just kind of put that tone on everything else, so everything feels spookier than it is. When you stay inside because it is too cold, you kind of start to get a little more like introspective and reflect on your life. I feel like because there's like your brain just starts going, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Dark and cold, and even if you're like just home alone, or if you're just like having a think, you start to think about people that maybe you've lost or things that have gone wrong, or like, and you just kind of go into this like slump downward spiral, and then you start to feel meh. I think that's also why things feel spooky. And wintertime used to be the time where you would gather in your house with people because it was cold, so you would just stay home. What do? You would tell ghost stories. That's what you did back then, because there wasn't like Netflix and other TV shows you just binge watch and stuff. Back in the day, you were just home with family, or if say you did go out to a friend's house or something, and you all were together drinking or enjoying each other's company, and it got dark and cold, and you're sitting around a fire. What else are you supposed to do when you're sitting around a fire? Tell dang ghost stories.
Yeah. It goes back to earlier too, like everything else is dead. All the trees are dead. All plants. I know plants, I think it's like a scientific fact that having plants around is like mentally makes you be like, oh wow.
It's something that's like green and bright versus when you're when wintertime everything's brown and mopey. And also with it being cold and the sound being muffled and everything, it kind of heightens your own senses. You're listening. Your senses have intensified. Yeah,
the normal sounds are gone and your brain's like, hold up.
Fill the gaps, yeah.
Also, people were saying with the snow, it amplifies contrast and stuff to see like shadow figures and stuff, which is interesting. I never thought about that before. I don't have any experiences seeing anything outside, but it would make sense because it's all white, and then if a shadow passes by, you'd be able to see for sure.
Yeah, if you're home alone or and the power goes out, like power outages during the winter are totally just a thing that happens. You light a candle. You have like lanterns or flashlights or something around. You're lighting a candle. The flickering of the flame can really play with you.
Oh yeah, that's
That you see.
That's probably really bad.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of like ghost stories from long ago with people in their houses they're holding their candles because there wasn't, flashlights and emergency lights and all that, and you had to light a candle. So you see things that aren't there with flickering flames. You see shadows that are like thrown across because it's just not a natural, like, it's not a still light. It's a moving,
Yeah.
and so everything kind of goes everywhere. A lot of ghost stories that happen during the wintertime because the power's out. You light a candle, and then now you see everything. You see shadows, you see lights where there's not lights, your eye catches a glimmer of something shiny over here because it reflected from the candle.
That's what I was gonna say, is your eye is naturally attracted to light, so if it's flickering a bunch, you're just automatically gonna be looking for things.
And it could mess with your eyes because your eyes could dilate because there's a bright light right there and it's dark, so you're trying to bring in more light, and then you have this candle and you look at it and you're dilating in and out from the lights, so it's messing with your eyes that way too.
Science. The more you know. Alright, so now moving on to the experiences or the mystical subjects that have to do with wintertime. So do you have any winter experiences?
I personally do not. I did find one. I went looking because the stuff that I have had happen, I don't know if it was during winter time or during summertime. I didn't pay attention to the seasons of when my spooky things happened. But I did find one where someone had something happen in a town that they lived in where the power went out. So I can read that one. They said, I've had a few paranormal experiences throughout my life, but this one popped up in my brain the other day, and I've been thinking about it a lot, and I can't really explain what happened, so I thought I'd share. About 2 years ago, in a dead winter, my power went out. This is a big problem for me because I have a pet leopard gecko who requires heating elements to survive. It started getting very cold in my apartment very quickly, to the point where I became worried for my pet's safety and did the only thing I could think to do, which was take my gecko to the car and crank the heater up. Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. Normally we get a few power outages every winter in my area, and they last maybe an hour or two. This time it was different because the power did not come back for 6 hours. After about an hour of sitting in my driveway, I got extremely bored and started driving around my neighborhood, which had some more rural areas that butted up against national forests. One of these areas is an absolutely beautiful overlook where you can see miles of the forest and also a few street lights, so I'd be able to see if the power came back on. So I drove there and parked to enjoy the view. I'd had the heat running for a while and the car had gotten a bit hot. So I rolled down the window to let in some cool air and almost immediately started hearing something kind of far off at first. Kind of a weird, sad sounding howl mixed with a squawk. I assumed this was an animal, but rolled up the window almost all the way just in case. Over the next 20 minutes, the sound got progressively closer and closer to the car until it sounded like it was circling me. And note, this guy's parked at an overlook. He's not driving when this is happening. I can still hear this sound in my mind, clear as day, even though this happened several years ago. And I know what animals we had locally and what they sounded like. This didn't sound like any of them. I got nervous and decided to leave and go get some food and gas in the neighborhood town that still had power. About an hour passes and there's still no power. Having convinced myself that the sound was just an animal and had probably long since moved on, I went back to the overlook to enjoy my meal. About another hour goes by without anything happening, no noise, no nothing, until eventually I see movement among the big rocks in front of me. It started getting dark, so I can't really make it out perfectly, but at one point it looked like the head of a disfigured animal had peered at me from over the rock and then disappeared. I see this several more times, but I stay because if it was an animal there, then something was severely wrong with it. Maybe it was an injury or a birth defect that would probably, affect its quality of life. And I wanted to be able to let animal control know so they could find it or help it out or put it out of its misery if necessary, since it was clearly staying in the exact same area. After a while, it starts making noise again. The same one as before, but it's also now added a horrible gurgling sound.
Oh.
Almost human. At this point, it's gotten completely dark, and I can't see much of anything, but I can still hear it circling the car. Eventually, I hear what sounds like something messing around near the back tire, and I panic and peel out of the parking spot. I look behind me and see what now is very clearly a person in the taillights. They attempted to chase the car for a few feet, but quickly gave up. Is it possible this was just a person under the influence or suffering from mental health issues? I mean, yeah, it definitely is. But that seems pretty unlikely since it was probably, below 30 degrees outside. And yeah, below 30 or 30 below, my dude. I'm guessing it's just below 30, which means like 20 degrees. Far enough out of everyone's way that I doubt anyone would be hanging out there, let alone hanging out there for hours and wearing what appeared to be an animal skin on their head. If it wasn't a person, based on the location and how the thing looked, it was probably an epidermis crawler. I won't say the word. You know what I mean. This experience still terrifies me to this day. I believe I may have a recording of the sound. Due to the power outages, I didn't film or record most of the experience to conserve my already dying phone. And then they asked which state this occurred in, and they said New Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah! You probably saw that epidermis crawler.
Yeah, I don't mess with that area. But I believe every story that comes from there.
Yeah. This was posted 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh, that's recent enough to be scary for sure.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, and I know people talk about, what was the thing you said? People they say it wrong.
Which?
I don't know.
Samhain?
Yeah, what is that?
It's a Celtic thing. It's where it's associated with Halloween sometimes. Samhain is a Gaelic festival on the 1st of November, marking the end of the harvest in autumn and beginning of winter, or the darker half of the year. It's also the Irish and Scottish Gaelic name for November. They begin on the evening of the 31st of October, since the Celtic day began and ended at sunset. It's about halfway between the autumnal equinox and winter solstice. And it's one of the 4 Gaelic seasonal festivals, along with, I'm not even going to try to pronounce them because I'm going to say them wrong now. I don't want to mispronounce it. But there's 4 seasonal festivals.
I did see that when I was researching, but I never heard of that before. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I know some other mystical creatures for this time of year, is obviously Krampus, which I did not know originated in Austria and Germany.
The Krampus movie they made was fantastic, I must say.
I love that movie. Oh, the power went out and there was just a fire, and it was exactly like we're talking about. The Yule Cat was interesting when I was looking that up. Have you?
I had not heard of it until you had sent the little plan sheet. And I was like, what is a Yule Cat?
Yeah, I saw in winter movies, I'm pretty sure in the Christmas Chronicles they have a Yule Cat come up, but I never knew what it was. I did not know it was a mystical creature. Apparently it's an enormous cat that prowls the snowy countryside, eating those who don't receive new clothes by Christmas, symbolizing their hard work and generosity. So if you don't have new clothes, you better watch out. That's crazy. I never heard of that before.
That one I had not heard of. I'd heard of Krampus and Jack Frost and all that, but no, the Yule Cat was a new one to me.
I heard of Jack Frost just from all the Christmas movies, but I didn't know that people, like, he's an actual, like, spirit creature thing.
Yeah. I remember that one creepy movie where it was like a snowman and the kid, it was like somebody's dad turned into Jack Frost or something.
Yes.
Weird.
That was so weird. I used to watch that movie all the time, and then I think about it, I'm like, what, who let me do that? That's
Things that we watched and listened to as children.
crazy. That's why we believe winter is tied a lot to paranormal.
Yeah. It's cold and scary. I feel like the cold just like makes you more nervous.
Yeah, because you're already tired of being cold too.
We had a couple of nights where there was the possibility of like the wind chill could make it -45, and so they were like, it was a winter storm, like cold weather warning. Basically, don't go outside or be outside without gloves and uncovered for longer than like 5 minutes, or you can start getting frostbite.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know how it is here. They don't have salt or anything. They don't know how to handle the cold here.
They don't know how to handle rain here. Rain's hard and everyone loses their mind.
They don't know how to handle the rain here either. They don't know how to drive anywhere.
No, everybody sucks at driving.
No one knows how to drive at any season, any climate.
Especially if you go into the cities in Minnesota. I used to work at Mall of America, and driving on the interstates and the roads to the mall from the town I lived in, the number of times I had people just almost slam into me or run me off the road because, bro, like people here cannot drive. There's some sections where you're supposed to merge, but there's no sign that tells you to merge. You're supposed to know.
I also can't stand driving on a full moon because that is a thing. That is very much a thing. People go crazy during a full moon.
Full moon just makes people crazy. It messes with people's insides, I feel like.
We should look that up one time too, because it makes animals go crazy, it makes people go crazy, everyone, I don't know.
Charge your crystals under that full moon, y'all. I found the pronunciation of Yaltana.
Interesting. And where's that from?
It's Irish Celtic festival.
That makes sense. That was a good segue. The next REMPOD will be not into REMPODs. Next REMPOD will be about vampires and Valentine's Day, and then the next one will be about leprechauns. So if you have anything you want us to cover in those, let us know about down below. Let us know any topic ideas for REMPODs you want us to do. Do we like the scary comp guy?
I can't remember. I can never remember the freaking YouTube name. I always want to say Beelzebub, but I know that's not right.
Yeah, something.
Bub something. Such the B. I don't remember it.
Bizarre
Bub.
Bub.
Here she goes. Yeah, I feel like the last one I did, I think I even put it in like the recording I sent you. I was like, if you want me to do another one, just let me know, because I feel like this one was...
Any reaction is a good reaction.
Yeah.
Why didn't I didn't edit it yet. What were you saying that for? Was it slow?
Like everything was very slow roll and like, I don't know. It wasn't, like I said, it was no exploding stove.
I don't know if we'll ever beat that.
Exploding stove. That stove was something else. I rewatched that video with my fiance, and it got to that part, and I didn't pay attention to what my reaction actually was. And when I watched it, I was expecting me to like have this like look on my face. I literally was like, I was just deadpan. I was like, that is not the reaction I thought I had. In my head, I was like making this crazy face, but no, in the actual like reaction itself, I was just like,
My favorite part of the video is the one where they're talking about the rosary.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, maybe she just moved her hand. The way both of us just went.
Yeah.
At the same time, we just made the same face. We're like, bruh.
Sure.
Yeah, she just, yeah. Because when did you see her do that?
Yeah, at what point did she go,
Yeah, what?
whip it like Indiana Jones?
Alright, so that's all for this REMPOD. Let us know what your thoughts on winter and paranormal are down below. And we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!